flooding kills at least one person today. Powerful water rushing down the Llano River wiped out a bridge in Kingsland. Our cameras were there and rolling as the FM 2900 bridge collapsed around 9:15 this morning. Just a few hours later, authorities found one person dead nearby in Burnett County. DPS tells us that person died in this morning's flooding. We have live team coverage tonight across the hardest hit areas. Christian Flores and Sarah Navoy are near the Llano River. Melanie Torrey is watching the water rise on Lake Travis, and Chief Meteorologist Chicago Windler is tracking more rain moving into the area. Let's go now to my co-anchor Walt Makaborski, who is live near the Starkey Dam in Marble Falls. Walt, the water there still rushing. The danger is not over.
Far from over, Hema. The Llano River crested at nearly 40 feet, 20 feet above flood stage, and you can see the powerful water still coming over the Starkey Dam. We're dealing with another crest tonight at around 8 o'clock, so the danger is far from over. Standing by live right now is CBS Austin's Christian Flores in Llano with the latest. Christian?
Yeah, well, flooding has gone down just a little bit since this morning, but we're nowhere near in the clear. Let me step out of the way because you can see that the currents here in the Llano River here in Llano are still pretty rapid. I was just out here last week covering this, and neighbors here told me that this is the highs they've seen the river. Well, today and right now, it's much higher than it was last week. The river is expected to crest to an even higher level tonight, so just in a few hours. Neighbors and emergency workers are preparing for the worst. Officials here say there were no injuries or fatalities in Llano County. Unfortunately, Burnett County officials recovered one body on the Colorado River near Lake LBJ. Several neighborhoods in the county have evacuated, more than 100 people total, because of just how strong these floodwaters are. We spoke with one neighbor who got out just before the floods closed off the road in and out of her community. Emergency workers are saying that if you are in these areas that you need to evacuate.
It only took, like I said, just a minute to 2 minutes for that water to go up 8 inches.
Even though the water is going down in some areas, it will go back up. So we ask that people please do not attempt to go back to homes if you've evacuated them.
And emergency workers are going to continue monitoring river levels. Those who evacuated today are being urged not to return to their homes for the next 24 to 36 hours, again, because of that second crest that's expected. As soon as we get more information on additional evacuations, we'll be sure to have that both on air and online at cbsaustin.com. Reporting live in Llano, Christian Flores, CBS Austin News.
Thank you, Christian. Now, the Llano River hit a major flood stage at around 5 a.m. this morning. That meant an early, scary wake-up call for residents and first responders going door to door. CBS Austin's Jordan Bonke has the latest on why this water isn't going down anytime soon.
They did have a crack in this bridge. There's some sort of damage that's already happened from this flooding.
A bridge that connects two parts of a Texas Hill Country town gave way to historic flooding on the Llano River in Kingsland around 9:15 Tuesday morning.
Oh my God, Excelsior, the bridge collapsed.
The Office of Emergency Management in Llano urged those within a quarter mile of the river to evacuate as the water is expected to rise more than 40 feet, what officials called catastrophic flooding.
Oh, get back, get back, get back.
The Lower Colorado River Authority closed major lakes Travis, Marble Falls, LBJ, and Buchanan. School, county, and city officials closed on Tuesday, as well as shelters opened up in Llano and Burnett counties. Governor Greg Abbott deployed state agencies for a day of water rescues.
We have people that are trapped in certain islands that we just can't get to because you can see behind me the water's moving so quickly, and plus the debris. We just can't put boats in that kind of water, so we need the helicopters as well.
Floodgates closer to Austin open to help relieve flooding. Lake Travis, the drinking supply for the city of Austin, is full for the first time since April of 2017, and it rose 15 feet since midnight. Even for people who live along the river, the flooding was a shocking sight.
I've never seen it like that. Usually it's a huge drop off right there, and so to see it almost level with the rest of the lake is just crazy.
Jordan Bonke reporting in the Texas Hill Country.
And right now we are monitoring the rising Lake Travis and Lake Buchanan, as well as flood operations as you're trying to get all that flood water downstream will show. It's pretty foggy out there too. This is our island cam from Lake Travis. It's kind of even hard to pick out very much. But what I will tell you is this time yesterday, Lake Travis was 78% full. It has risen to 104% full. 681 is full. 683 is where we stand right now. Fortunately, the spillway is all the way up at 714. Lake Buchanan yesterday was 83% full, and now it's risen to 93% full. So both of these lakes are on the rise, and the big goal is for the LCRA to safely navigate all those floodwaters downstream and all the way into the Gulf of Mexico. In the meantime, one thing that I can say is a bit encouraging is the fact that the heavy, steady rain has temporarily subsided. We do still have flash flood warnings that are in effect, and they've in fact been extended until tonight at 9:30 p.m. And within these areas, with the hardest hit spots in Gillespie as well as Llano County and adjacent sections of Burnett County, there are still ongoing flooding issues. So even the littlest bit of rain could aggravate conditions. So flash flood warning still in effect until 9:30. The Llano River earlier today did hit 39.91, the second highest crest, but the forecast crest for 8 o'clock this evening is slightly higher, 40.1. So don't let your guard down in these areas. We've seen it rise. Currently it's sitting at 31.77, and it's on the rise again, heading toward that 40.1 foot crest. What I will tell you is this is going to be a days-long event because it's not only the Llano River, but we've also got Sandy Creek, the Pedernales River, the Guadalupe River down south and west, and even the San Gabriel River. All of these are either currently flooding or expected to flood, and it does look like then all of this is going to have to work its way downstream. So at least for now, Austin is not dealing with flooding, but that could change as Lake Travis continues to rise and Mansfield Dam has to let out some of that water, as well as Miller Dam, and it goes on downstream. Walt?
Thanks, Chicago. Upstream near Llano, we're starting to see some of the damage now. CBS Austin's Raven Ambers was there and has a look.
We are in Llano, where the Llano River rose as much as 40 feet overnight. We're standing near a city RV park that sits along the Llano River, where you can see debris and water moving very briskly. We are upstream from where most of the worst damage is going, so this should be a warning to everyone downstream that this water is moving your way. And as that water continues moving downstream, first responders want people to keep in mind to stay away from any waterways, rivers, streams, and of course any roads that aren't passable. A lot of people that I have spoken to say this is the worst flooding that they've seen in their lifetime.
I've been through some disasters, and God has pulled me through all of them, and I pray that God takes care of everybody and keeps them safe, and things get back to normal, maybe in a week. But we got more rain coming next week, so who knows what's going to happen.
And emergency responders warning people downstream to stay safe, stay dry, and stay away from flooded roadways if possible. In Llano, Raven Ambers, CBS Austin News.
Rescue crews from all over Texas are working around the clock looking for people that need help. They're going door to door, neighborhood to neighborhood, scouring areas that are hard hit by all of this flooding. Now, the Texas Game Warden shared this image of homes underwater, actually several images with us today. You can barely see the roofs peeking out above the water line. Texas Parks and Wildlife is trying to find those still trapped by both the water, and they're in the air and on the water, trying to help as many people as they can. CBS Austin's Sarah Navoy has been watching rescues all day long in the Granite Shoals area. She joins us live with the latest on efforts there. Sarah?
Yeah, well, just down this roadway here, Grand Isle Drive, is where many of those rescues happen. This road leads out to what's kind of an island where there's a lot of homes, and the water rose quickly on those homes, making it so some residents really couldn't get out. But what's interesting is this water keeps rising up and then it goes down. So right now it's actually passable, and you see cars driving up and down this road, but believe me when I say just 15 or 20 minutes ago, there was rushing water over this roadway, not allowing people or keeping people from their homes on this aisle. Now, when we got here this morning, crews were just finishing up rescuing dozens of people who were trying to gather last-minute things from their homes, including an elderly man in his 90s and a mom and her 2 children. Texas Search and Rescue says once rescued, the biggest concern really for these folks is hypothermia, because it's cold and wet wet out here. This floodwater rose so rapidly that the boat teams actually ended up rescuing first responders themselves that were in vehicles who got stuck out here trying to help folks.
First responders had collected all the residents, got them together to a safe place, but then it required the boats to get everyone out of there together.
I mean, that's how fast this water was rising.
Yes, yep, came up quick.
Now we've seen jet skis, boat docks, all sorts of debris floating down what is now this very fast moving river just on the other side of these homes here. Most people we talked to have lived out here for a long time, and as you've heard us say many times already in this newscast, many of them saying this is the most flooding they've ever seen. At 6 o'clock, hear from one of those folks who was rescued. We talked to him just as he got off of the boat. He said it was just unbelievable. Stay with us, of course. Again, we'll have more on this at 6 o'clock. Reporting live tonight in Granite Shoals, Sarah Navoy, CBS Austin News.
Thanks, Sarah. Emergency crews did warn people within a quarter of a mile of the Llano River to leave their homes. The city of Llano opened up 2 evacuation centers. Right now, the JLK Events Center and Ludi Watkins Methodist Church are both welcoming those who are stuck out of their homes. People living in Granite Shoals, where Sarah was, they are also under evacuation orders right now. The city says anyone with lakefront property or anyone who can see the water from their home needs to leave. And the evacuations extend down the river. Marble Falls Emergency Management told people living near the water to get out. Shelters are located at the First Baptist Church and the Burnett Community Center. Our crews are on the ground across the flooded areas of Texas. We'll continue to track this deadly flood and recovery. Be sure to stay with us on air and online at cbsaustin.com for more on this developing story. We showed it to you earlier. That bridge ripped apart today, gone in just a matter of seconds. How long it will take crews to rebuild this Llano County bridge destroyed by the floods. Trying to prevent more deaths, the city of Austin's measures to keep people off the raging water.
You're watching CBS Austin News, Central Texas Trusted.
I'm Walt Pekowski live at the Starkey Dam. Today, in an instant, a major artery in Kingsland was wiped out. Floodwaters just collapsed the FM 2900 bridge. CBS Austin's Melanie Barden was there as it happened and watched it live.
Oh my God, Excelsior, the bridge collapsed. Excelsior, the bridge collapsed. Just in the past minute or so, we heard a very loud sort of rumbling noise, and everybody had their eyes on that bridge already. Wow, look at that out there, that wave. Because of the force of that bridge and all that concrete now coming down the river, it's really impacting how high this water is getting. Pieces of the bridge just flipping over. The LCRA pushing people further back. They are moving this tape further back, telling people, get back, get back, just to see it all happen and see it all play out in real time. The moment the bridge came down, it was just kind of eerie. This debris could get stuck on other things. It could impact people standing close to the shore. It's reached far above flood stages here, the second highest in Llano River's history.
Some scary, powerful moments there, and it's going to take about a year to rebuild the FM 2900 bridge, so a lot of trouble in that area. Now all of this is moving south. We're taking a look at Lake Travis. They say it is now 100% full. It filled all the way up just in the last 8 hours or so. We'll have more on what our crews are doing to keep people safe along the river coming up on CBS Austin News.
And the last thing people need is more rain. Right now, we're actually enjoying a lull in the precip. But ahead in your CBS Austin 7-day, when more rain, potentially heavy, could move right back into Central Texas.
Lakes Travis, Marble Falls, Inks, and Buchanan remain closed tonight. The LCRA made that call early today. The lakes are rising about a foot an hour. The LCRA plans to open up to 4 floodgates at Lake Travis by 6 p.m. tonight. This is a live look at Lake Travis right now. The lakes will remain closed until further notice. CBS Austin's Melanie Torrey is live at the Mansfield Dam today. Mel, we know some Lake Travis homeowners are at risk for flooding.
They are, Hamo. We know the Travis County Sheriff's Office is going door to door telling people who live in Graveyard Point that eventually they may need to evacuate. Graveyard Point is about 11 miles from where we are now at the base of Mansfield Dam. You can see they have those 3 floodgates open right now and an incredibly strong current as that water barrels downstream into Lake Austin. People have been flocking down here all day to watch these floodgates open and take pictures and videos. The sheer power of this water is a sight that many want to see for themselves. Some people who live on Lake Travis tell us that when they woke up this morning, they could tell the lake had already come up several feet overnight, and they say they've continued to watch it creep up all day today. Just a few months ago, lake levels were rapidly dropping, and residents were worried there wouldn't be enough water in Lake Travis, but now they're experiencing the opposite problem. However, opening these floodgates will help bring some relief.
I hope so. I hope they open more because there's a lot of water coming this way for sure, a whole lot of water. What's going over Starkey Dam is unreal, and it's certainly going to raise this up a lot more than they're letting out here, so we'll see.
The LCRA started opening floodgates here at Mansfield Dam at noon, and they've opened another one every 2 hours since. As of right now, the 4th and final floodgate is scheduled to open here at 6 o'clock. Reporting live at Mansfield Dam, Melanie Torrey, CBS Austin News.
Melanie, thank you. And just within the last couple of minutes, Governor Abbott just declared a disaster declaration for Bastrop, Burnett, Fayette, Llano, Mason, Travis, and Williamson counties. Now, the city of Austin is banning all boating and recreational activities on area waterways. They want people to do the exact opposite of what you see here. This video of kayakers on the rushing water was captured on the Pedernales River earlier today. Flooding on the Llano River created dangerous high and swift water all across central Texas. Austin leaders say people like this are putting their own lives in danger and potentially first responders' lives in danger as well. They ordered a ban on the entirety of Lake Austin, Lady Bird Lake, all creeks within the Austin area, and the Colorado River downstream of the Longhorn Dam. People violating that order could face charges. That ban lasts through tomorrow.
And right now we are continuing to track Lake Travis. Hard to see from this standpoint, but here's the dock, and out in the middle of there is a dock that's halfway underwater as our island cam is shooting out over Lake Travis in the Lago Vista area. Temperature at 50, that's it. So with all the flooding concerns in Austin, it's just chilly and raw. We've only had 3/4 of an inch of rain in Austin, but many locations overnight and into this morning out in the hill country saw 1/2 foot or more, and that explains exactly why this is the area of biggest concern. Flash flood warning still in effect for Gillespie, Llano, as well as portions of Burnett County all the way until 9:30. The good news, though, steady rain has lifted northward. We've just got some spotty showers still around. And over the last 6 hours, I'm pleased to report that additional rainfall has been measured in hundredths of an inch, as opposed to inches, which we were seeing. Llano River this morning cresting 2nd highest all time on the heels of last week when we saw the 6th highest all time. And unfortunately, the latest forecast at 8 o'clock tonight, we could see the Llano River rise even higher than it was this morning, up to 40 feet. So catastrophic flooding already and more to come. Do not let your guard down and continue to heed all of what the authorities are saying in terms of evacuation and what not to do. We're not only talking Llano River, we also have several other locations still dealing with river flooding. The revised forecast again for the Llano River, 40.1 feet this evening. We also have Sandy Creek with moderate flooding for Sandy Harbor just west of the Kingsland area. The Pedernales River experiencing moderate flooding from Johnson City out to Pedernales Falls State Park and into western sections of Travis County. And in Georgetown, the San Gabriel River experiencing minor flooding. All of that flow coming out of Llano and out of the Pedernales has to go through the Highland Lake system. So it's going through the Wirtz Dam and in Lake LBJ, out through Starkey Dam and Lake Marble Falls, all the way down the Highland Lake system, combining with more water from the Pedernales, and that is in turn bringing that fast-moving water through Lake Travis as well, which is now officially 104% full, but it's at 683 feet. I will tell you there's room to go. The flood pool goes all the way up to 714, and so far through history, we have never seen water go over the spillway at Lake Travis. The highest 710 back in 1991. Current forecast from the LCRA in the days to come between 690 and 695, which could potentially put this in a top 10 for highest levels at Lake Travis. Now in the short term, just spotty showers for tomorrow, 40% chance. More rain Thursday, Friday, maybe heavy in spots. The weekend, we finally get a dry day on Sunday before more minor rain chances next week. We'll be right back.
Big question now, will we be seeing more rain?
Yes, we will. And I want to show you this map. It's for the next 7 days, but there is a possibility of seeing another 2 to 3 inches of rain. I think we'll see a break through most of this evening to some light showers for tomorrow. But then Thursday and Friday is when that rain will be picking right back up. And some computer models are trying to give the Hill Country a couple more inches.
All right. Thanks, Chicago. Thanks for joining us. CBS Austin is going to be continuing our coverage of the historic flooding through the CBS Evening News. We'll be back after the break.